You are listening to Christian Audio's production of The Gospel and Religious Liberty by Russell D. Moore and Andrew T. Walker. This book is read by P.J. Ochlan. This audio recording was produced in 2016 by Christian Audio, which owns the copyright. No portion of this recording may be reproduced for any reason without prior written consent from Christian Audio. This edition issued by contractual arrangement with B&H Publishing Group. Originally published in English as The Gospel and Religious Liberty. Copyright 2016 by Russell D. Moore and Andrew T. Walker. All rights reserved. Please visit christianaudio.com, facebook.com/Christian Audio, or twitter.com/Christian Audio to offer your impressions of this work and to explore additional titles. Introduction. Andrew T. Walker. Religious liberty is among the most important and most misunderstood topics today in America. You may have heard of this phrase, religious liberty, and were unaware of just how fundamental it is to our faith as Christians, but also to the list of rights we hold as fundamental in America. As many know from their childhood education, those who came to America and who helped found this country did so fleeing religious persecution in their native country. It isn't an accident, therefore, that religious liberty is listed in the First Amendment to the United States Constitution. Why is this? Why did the founders of our country lay this principle at the very foundation of a new country? Because to be free to believe and free to live out those beliefs is the very cornerstone of a free society. Religious liberty is the right that secures and anchors all other rights. How so? Religious liberty arises from the truth that a person's relationship with God is the most important relationship a person can have. It's so important that no law or state should be able to interfere with a person's relationship to God or his or her ability to live out his or her faith. In the same way, religious liberty teaches that religious truth cannot be coerced. Because it cannot be coerced, religion ought to be freely pursued. Some opponents of religious liberty characterize religious liberty as a code word for bigotry. They warn that religious liberty is really a disguise for anti-gay, anti-liberal, or anti-progressive political policies. The accusation comes, ironically, from interest groups who claim to advocate for civil liberties, albeit at the expense of liberty itself. Nothing could be further from the truth. The perspective of this book is neither left nor right, liberal nor conservative. Instead, we believe we can have meaningful discourse about religious liberty, free of any conspiracy to promote a particular political viewpoint. Simply put, religious liberty benefits liberals, conservatives, Democrats, Republicans, Christians, and non-Christians alike. Religious liberty is a virtue for the common good. Religious liberty and conscience lie at the foundation that allows difference to flourish. Christians should have particular care for religious liberty because it's the pillar that allows the church to fulfill its mission. Religious liberty means we have the freedom to pledge allegiance to a greater power than the state itself. Additionally, we ought to care for religious liberty out of love for our neighbor. As we see around the world, the countries most hostile to liberty and freedom are the same countries that take aim to stamp out religious liberty. For the sake of our own worship and the dignity and freedom of others, who we disagree with about God, we ought to be a people that looks to maximize and protect this most cherished doctrine, religious liberty. As American culture loses its attachment to its Christian roots, and as Christianity grows stranger and stranger in what it teaches and upholds as beautiful, Christians will need to be able to articulate why religious liberty matters not just to Christians, but to all people who desire to live
Sample complete. Ready to continue?